Alright, alright. Oh, I'll let this car pass. Alright, hi everyone. Today's video is going to be just a little sit-down video. It should be pretty quick. I'm going to be reading the 4 diaries of the 4 main Monster High girls, Frankie Stein, Draculaura, Lagoona Blue, and Clawdeen Wolf. I thought that this would be a nice video just for people who don't have the Monster High girls, like the 4 original dolls. I just figured it would be nice to share with people who didn't have them, or people who just couldn't get the dolls. Hopefully they'll keep doing Creeproductions so that more people can get the dolls if they want them. Before we get into the video, I'll just tell you like what jewelry I'm wearing and what makeup I'm wearing. For makeup, I'm wearing my favorite lipstick. It's the Urban Decay metallized lipstick in the color Wildfire. I love this lipstick. It's like a real sparkly, metallized, orangey color. I really, really like it. I believe it's discontinued. I hope not. But, I mean, I bought it at Sephora like years ago, and I believe it was like in the discontinued section, but I could be wrong. I could be misremembering. And the 2 rings I'm wearing, this really pretty flower ring and this kind of like flower Easter egg ring, they're both from like a local antique shop near me, so I don't know like what specific brands they are or anything. I believe they're both real silver. I believe they both say 925 on them. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure. And then these earrings, they're little turkey vultures. I believe I got these from Attic Salt. It's in like most malls, I assume. Also don't have my glasses on today. Decided to wear my contacts. Okay, so first, starting off, I guess we'll go ahead and dive into Frankie Stein's diary. I like her dark, like, I don't know if it's necessarily a cobalt blue, but like a nice true blue color. I really, really like it. It says, "Why would anyone want to read someone else's diary without asking first? Because we're nosy. And we spend money." That's probably the main reason. So on the inside of the composition books, they're like composition notebooks. This is the outside. This is the inside. There's like a schedule. It says her name, the school she goes to. I wish this was like filled out. That would be interesting, but I don't know if, I don't know. Maybe they just didn't have the budget for that. This is her handwriting. Very easy to read. I like that it's not cursive. Sometimes my brain gets confused with cursive. And then in the back of her composition notebook, there is an About Me section. So I'll go ahead and read the About Me section before I dive in to the diary entries themselves. So it says, "About me. Name, Frankie Stein. Age, I'm 15. Days, that is. Monster parent, Frankenstein and his bride. Killer style. My friends say I have the perfect figure for fashion. I'm not really sure what that means yet, but they've taken me shopping for some scary cute clothes that are absolutely to die for. Freaky flaw. Sometimes my stitches come loose at the worst possible moments, like the day my arm flew off at fear-leading tryouts and landed right in front of the most creeperific guy at Monster High. I was mortified." I get all the play on words. I get all the... Are they puns? Are they puns? I haven't been in English class in forever. Pet. Watsit. I'm not sure of all the things he's made from, but Watsit's pet license is 10 pages long. Yeah, you probably gotta get that thing tested for, like, rabies, leprosy, chlamydia, like, you don't know, like, those 3 things are, like, there's animals that carry those 3 things, like, you don't know what that dog is made out of. You really do gotta get it tested for everything. Give it all the shots. Favorite activity. Since I'm only 15 days old, I don't really have a favorite yet. I want to experience everything before I have to choose. I mean, that makes sense. How'd she already learn English? I mean, maybe they, like, I don't know, implanted her with a brain that already was, like, really good at English? I don't know. A little cheat sheet? A little cheat code? Biggest pet peeve. Every morning when I come upstairs, my father insists on grinning and shouting, "It's alive." Yeah, that makes sense. Favorite school subject? History. It's been great because it helps me to understand where my friends are coming from. That's like the only logical explanation to me for liking history. I always thought history class was so boring. Least favorite school subject? Swimming. I tend to short out and say silly things when I get wet. Why would the teachers even make her swim? Like, they should be like, hey, you can sit this one out. Frankie Stein, you can go over there. Get to the bleachers. Favorite color? Black and white stripes. I guess it's more of a pattern, but yeah, black and white stripes. I love black and white stripes. You know what? Me too, girl. Favorite food? Because I'm only 15 days old, everything I've tried so far is the best thing ever. We do not have that in common. I am so picky. I always have been since I was a kid. And her BFFs are Draculaura and Clawdeen Wolf. So now we are going to get into the reading of the diary. The first entry is on the 30th day of June. I'm not sure what year. It doesn't say what year it takes place. So Mom and Dad think that I should keep a diary to help sort out everything I'm feeling. Since I'm only a few days old, I'm not sure where to even start. Right now I'm feeling happy, sad, confused, enlightened, worried, hopeful, and hungry, all at the same time. Is this normal? The 15th day of July. The most amazing thing happened today. It rained. I know everybody has seen rain before, but this was my first time, and I got so excited that I ran through the house yelling for everyone to come see it. Dad came bolting up from the lab and was rather unhappy to find out I had made such a big deal out of it. Mary Shelley's ghost, Frankie. I thought there were villagers with torches outside. I guess I must have looked either surprised or sad, because Dad gave me a big hug and said he was sorry he yelled. I wanted to go out and play in it, but Dad said he thought that might cause me to short out. Mom came to the rescue with an umbrella, rubber boots, and a raincoat. It was wonderful, and Dad even came out in his lab coat and boots to show me how to stomp puddles. Does life get any better than this? The 16th day of July. I feel like I've got so much to learn between now and when school starts. What if I get excited about something that is just a normal everyday occurrence, like the rain, and everybody laughs at me? Should I just be quiet and pretend I've seen it all before? I'm not even sure if that's possible for me, since everything is just so completely scary cool right now. The 17th day of July. Okay, so one thing I have learned in my short life is that I'm not a morning person. My dad is, though, and he insists on yelling, "It's alive," every time I come upstairs for breakfast. Unfortunately, I don't think he's going to stop doing that anytime soon, because when he finally stops laughing, he slaps his knee and says, "That just never gets old." Is it too soon for me to decide that breakfast is overrated? The 23rd day of August. Oh yeah, also, I bedazzled my microphone a little bit. I want to add more customizations to it, make it more personal than just a microphone. I want to make it my microphone, you know? So the 23rd day of August. We went on our first family trip today to the mall, and it's spelled M-A-U-L, like you got mauled by something. I was really excited, but also really nervous. Dad took the long way there and drove by Monster High to show me where I'd be going to school, which made me even more nervous, so that by the time we got to the mall, I was a total casket case. I almost asked Dad to take me home, but I went in anyway. We all had lunch at the food corps, and then Mom took me shopping while Dad went to look for some neck bolt polish. The first place Mom took me was her favorite store, but all the outfits sort of looked like old wedding dresses. I really didn't want to hurt Mom's feelings, and I didn't tell her this, but I wouldn't have been caught alive in most of those clothes. I guess Mom must have sensed that I wasn't very excited, because we didn't stay there very long. As we were leaving the store, we ran into Clawdeen Wolf and Draculaura. Mom introduced me to them and said we were shopping for school clothes. Clawdeen looked at the store and started to say something, but Draculaura accidentally hit her with the umbrella she was carrying and said, "Miss Stein, if you would like us to show Frankie some of the places we shop, we'd be happy to do that." Fortunately, Mom said yes, and then mentioned something about finding Dad before he made it to the laboratory supply store. Clawdeen and Draculaura took me around to all the scary cool stores and told me all about Monster High. I guess that kind of contradicts with the very first, episode, but, I mean, that's fine, you know? It's, because it wouldn't really matter if a kid could only, especially back then, have gotten the doll but didn't watch the show. So I'm really not too mad about that, about, the consistency. It was like we had known each other forever. Draculaura is so nice, and Clawdeen Wolf is so confident and funny. While we were shopping, I confessed I wasn't sure what kind of styles would look good on me. Draculaura and Clawdeen both started laughing, and I thought I'd said something wrong. Then they both put an arm around me, and Clawdeen said, "Ghoulfriend, with your figure, you shouldn't be wondering how good a style looks on you, but how bad you'll make it look on anyone else who wears it." Draculaura even invited me to try out for the fear-leading squad. I was too excited to tell her I didn't know what that was, but it sounded like fun. By the time Mom and Dad came to find me, I didn't want to leave. I'm so glad I stuck it out and didn't ask Dad to take me home. The 24th day of August. Didn't see Dad very much today. He's been working on a special project in his lab, and he said I'm not allowed to see what it is yet. I asked Mom if I was getting a new sister or brother, and she almost choked on the coffincino she was drinking. Karloff's crypt, sweetheart. Whatever gave you that idea? I heard Mom telling Dad about it later, and it sounded like they were laughing. I wonder if other teenage monsters have parents who do odd things. The 26th day of August. Well, there's probably monsters in that universe who abuse their kids, so yeah, I mean, yours seem pretty fine. The 26th day of August. I got into my first fight with my parents today, and they sent me to my room. I couldn't believe it. I must be the only monster that this has ever happened to. So what happened was, Clawdeen, Wolf, and Draculaura called to invite me to a moonlight party on the beach. I said yes without asking Mom and Dad first, and I was so excited that I ran upstairs to tell them, and they said no. We're sorry, dear, but we already have plans to do something as a family. You should have asked us first. I told them that all the monsters that would be in my class at Monster High would be there having a scary good time, and that I had already told Clawdeen, Wolf, and Draculaura that I could go, and it just wasn't fair that I wouldn't be able to, and then water started running down my cheeks. I didn't know what to do, and I thought maybe I'd somehow broken my eyes. Dad and Mom gave me a hug, which I didn't want at first, and told me it wasn't my eyes, but my heart that broke a little bit. But it was okay, because hearts still work, even when they break. Then they told me that the water was tears, and that it was very unusual for a monster to be able to cry, and that made me even more special. I had to call Clawdeen, Wolf, and Draculaura back and let them know I couldn't go, but they told me it was okay, and that the next time they would tell me ahead of time, so I could make sure Mom and Dad didn't have plans. I guess I still have a lot to learn, but at least I've got good parents and friends to help me with the lessons. Well, that's good. I mean, it's good to, let your kid learn that they're allowed to cry and express their emotions. That's good. But that would suck, though. But, I mean, yeah, I guess if the family plan is so important, she can't go hang out with her friends. The 28th day of August. This morning, Dan revealed his special project, a new pet he made just for me. It's really cute and sweet, and it's not exactly a dog or a cat or a fish, but more like a combination of everything. Dan told me that he took the best qualities of all the best pets and put them together. It barks like a dog, purrs like a kitten, swims like a fish, has spikes like a dragon, and eats bananas like a monkey. I'm going to call it Watsit. Dan said its pet license is like 10 pages long, and the monster vet wasn't even sure where to begin the examination. I don't care, though. Watsit slept at the foot of my bed and purred me to sleep. I love my life. The first day of September. I had to get stitches today. Well, I guess I should really say new stitches. I was throwing a ball for Watsit, and I heard rip as the ball went one way and my arm went the other. I know that sounds terrible, but it didn't really hurt. It was kind of embarrassing, though, and I was really glad that no one was around to see it. Watsit brought the ball and my arm back, and I went inside to see if Dad could fix it. Mom was not very happy with Dad and told him that he needed to work on his knot-tying skills. Dad showed me how to stitch my arm back on, and then gave me an emergency sewing kit to carry with me in case it happened when he wasn't around. I really hope this doesn't happen in front of my friends, or I'll be mortified. Mortified, I mean. The 6th day of September. I got my first letter in the mail today. It was my class schedule and a note welcoming me to Monster High. I think I'm more nervous now than I was before that first day at the mall. It's okay, though, because I know I'm getting ready to start my next great adventure, and I just can't wait to get started. Alright, so that was Frankie Stein's diary. Pretty interesting. Oh, I like how you get more, just like a little more personality from the character, a little more background information about the character, especially for, like, the kids at the time who couldn't watch the show. That's another good thing, so that you can, like, connect more with the doll, with the toy. I mean, not that kids would need that. They'd probably like the toy regardless. Okay, so next we are going to be taking a look at Lagoona Blue's diary. Her blue color is more of this, like, teal, maybe sea foam blue kind of color. It's more like a greenish blue. And the little thing on her diary says, "Hey, brah, if you find my diary, please return it to me when you're done reading it. Lates." So I guess she doesn't mind, which is good. I bought these Monster High dolls in 2024. Yeah, it's 2025. But the diaries say 2021 on them. It's probably maybe overstock. I don't know. Doesn't matter to me. I just thought that was interesting. Thought you guys might want that to be pointed out. Oh yeah, one of Frankie's pages in her diary has this like stitch detailing on it, and I mention that because some of Lagoona's pages, actually all of them it looks like, have this bubble like drawn detail. And you can see her handwriting as well. Her handwriting is a little larger than Frankie Stein's, and again, not in cursive. Okay, so turning to the About Me section in the back of the journal, or the diary. Name Lagoona Blue, age 15, monster parent, the sea monster. Very, very scary. I've been to the ocean before. I've never been like attacked by a sea creature, but I have been stung by a jellyfish when I was a child. My first time going to the beach in Galveston, Texas, and it hurt. I had like 2 little welts on me. It didn't like, I wasn't attacked very bad. It must have been like a baby that got me, but it did hurt. It stung. Killer style. I mostly like to creep out in my baggies, tank top, and floppies. That way I'm ready for any kind of a scary good time, whether it's surfing, screech, volleyball, or checking out the monster bros with my girls. But I also like to show up to parties in my scary cute little black dress, just to show everybody I can pull off the look. Freaky flaw. My skin tends to dry out if I spend too much time out of the water, so I go through a fright of moisturizer. Chlorine from the Monster High pool also has a tendency to turn my blonde hair blue, but it's a creeperific look, don't you think? Pet. Neptuna is my pet piranha, and I've got a special purse that's actually a fishbowl, so I can secretly take Neptuna to class. Favorite activity. Anything that involves being in, on, or around the water. Biggest pet peeve. Anyone who treats the ocean like his or her own personal trash can. That's fair. I hate littering. Like, how stupid you have to be. Like, I see the same, like, littering. I see littering as, like throwing trash around your house. Like, you live here, too. Like, you need to do your share. You need to pick up after yourself, especially when you're outside. Like, throw trash in your own home. That's fine. Don't throw trash outside. Shame. For shame. Boo this man. Favorite school subject? Oceanography. If I can't be in the water, I want to be studying about it. That's fair. When I was a kid, I wanted to be a marine biologist. The water is cool. It's just so terrifying at the same time. Least favorite school subject? Geology. Volcanoes plus rocks plus deserts equals my nightmare. What? I'm just a little offended because I love crystals and stuff. But I mean, I guess that makes sense. Volcanoes under the water are probably just as destructive as they are on land. Favorite color? Ocean blue, of course. Favorite food? Sushi. Sushi's good. Sushi's good. I've had a little bit of raw sushi that I've liked. Mostly I like cooked sushi, just because the idea of eating raw meat is scary to me, because I think about parasites, and I think about getting sick, because I don't know, I don't think you can eat any other meat raw, can you? So I find it kind of, I don't know, it's interesting eating fish raw. The texture is very interesting. But I have tried some good sushi, yeah. BFFs. I'm down with everybody, bro. Same thing that it says on the, I think it's the same thing that it says on the back of her box. Okay, so the first entry is 6/30, so I guess June 30th. So the first entry says, just got back from visiting some of my cousins up north. They have some real monster surf up there, but the water is like cold enough to turn you blue. Hee hee. And the beaches are all rocky, so no screech volleyball. Anyway, I'm glad to be home where the water is warm, the beaches are sand, and life is scary good. 7/15, so July 15th. Sweet rainy day today. Went for a run on the beach in the soft sand, and I didn't dry out once. It was raining so hard it was almost like going for a long swim on the beach. Totally awesome. 7/18. Chilled with Draculaura, who's a vegetarian, and Clawdeen Wolf, who is definitely not. To graze some screeches today? Screeches. That's a hard word to say. So we had 1 soy cheese, 1 double everything meat, and 1 anchovy. We had a scary good time after that, trying on bikinis, although it was kind of a bummer for Draculaura, because she can't really lay out in the sun or she'll burn. She didn't seem to mind though, and we told her that we'd be happy to catch some moonbeams anytime she wanted. Could you get a moonburn? Like because it reflects the sunlight, could you theoretically or like in reality, could you get a sunburn from the moon, like a moonburn? Scientists, let me know as possible. Hank Green, if you're watching, I need your expertise. 7:20. The surf wasn't totally dead today, but it was definitely on life support. There were a bunch of gremlins hanging around trying to learn how to surf on the few ankle snappers that did roll in, so I spent the day helping them, which is scary cool, especially when I see how excited they get after they finally catch their first wave. 7:21. Invited everybody over for a totally dank bonfire on the beach last night. It was a gnashing good time, and even Clawdeen Wolf and Clear Denial got along. Well, they didn't really say anything to each other, and they sat on opposite sides of the fire all night, but for them that's like being best monster friends forever. Sometimes I wish everybody could just hang loose and chill about stuff that doesn't matter. I mean, we're all monsters, right? But I guess it's pretty far out to think that just because sharks and dolphins share the same ocean, it means they're going to hang out and be friends. Of course that doesn't mean I'm going to stop trying to make it happen. And she has a cute little smiley face. I really like that smiley face, it's real cute. 7:22. I had the most embarrassing moment of my life today. I was just about to get out of the water with my board when I noticed these really cute monster bros playing Screech volleyball. I mean, like, totally creepy cute. So anyway, as I was standing there like a piece of driftwood watching them, Neptuna swam up behind me and nipped me on the heel. I was totally not expecting that, and I let out a squeal. It must have been pretty loud, because the monster bros all turned around and looked at me. I was going to just turn around and jump back in the water, but I forgot my surfboard leash was still attached, and I tripped over it and landed face first in the sand. To make matters worse, I knocked the breath out of myself and was flopping around in the sand like a fresh caught mackerel. Pretty soon, I had these 4 cute monsters trying to help me up and make sure I was okay, but all I wanted to do was swim away as fast as I could. I'm going to have to change my name and move to a fishbowl in the desert. I mean, well, it's not that bad. I mean, at least her bikini top didn't come off. That would have been worse. 8-9. So I went to the mall to buy Neptuna a new chew toy, and Clear Denial was there hanging out by herself, so we met up and did some team shopping. She's cooler than most people think, but it does take some work to get to know her. Anyway, she bought me lunch and wanted to buy me some new outfits. 2, but I told her I had plenty. She'd never say so, but I think she believes I don't have a fashion sense because I dress in baggies, tanks, and floppies all the time. It's all good though, because I really dress this way because I like to, and I've already mastered surfing and platforms, because sometimes when the waves are primo, I don't want to waste time changing. Of course I've got stacks of fashion stuff, since my dad knows where to find all the best sunken treasure. 8-10. Speaking of my dad, went for a long swim with him today. He's all worried about me going to school with a bunch of dryland monster durfers. I know he's just worried about me, but I told him that everybody is really scary sweet and they treat me like everybody else, and it's not like I've got to give up my voice or something silly like that. Besides, I'm the captain of the swim team, and I don't want to let anybody down. I think I finally convinced him, because he stopped being all serious and said, "Last one at the beach is sushi." I think I would have beaten him if he hadn't have gotten a head start. 9-1. I'm going to try and schedule time in the pool between my classes this year, but I don't know if I'll be able to make that happen. If I stay out of the water for too long, my skin starts to dry out, and I can get like this full-bodied dandruff. It's yucktastic. Seriously though, I go through like a ton of moisturizer. It's the one thing that's a drag about going to school on dry land. Well, that and trying to keep Neptuna hidden in my fishbowl purse all day. And she drew a smiley face again. I like how the entries in it are kind of like expanding on what the about me section of the diaries tell you. 9-6. I spent today by myself at this secret little cove I know. You can't walk down to it because the cliff is way too steep and the current is really strong around it, so only a really good swimmer, which I am, could make it from the shore. Anyway, school starts tomorrow, and I wanted to just chill and remember summer before it goes away. Why is it that summer always goes by faster than the school year? I'm looking forward to seeing my friends every day, but it'll be a while before the only things I have to study are the colors and the sounds of the ocean. Yeah, I don't blame her. I probably would want it to be summer too, instead of just being at school. Alright, the next diary that we are going to be reading from is Clawdeen Wolf's diary. This is my diary. If you want your life to last longer than it takes to read it, you won't. So she's threatening violence, which I don't blame her for. You should never read somebody's diary. It's an invasion of privacy. I like her purple color. It's like a deep purple, like a true royal purple, maybe not a royal purple. There's a little bit of blue in it, but maybe it's a little more of a warmer purple. Purple. I don't know if I said any of that correctly. Here's her About Me section. Name, Clawdeen Wolf. Age, 15. Monster parent, the werewolf. Killer style. I'm a fierce fashionista with a confident, no-nonsense attitude. I'm also gorgeous, intimidating, and absolutely loyal to my friends. Freaky flaw. My hair is worthy of a shampoo commercial, and that's just what grows on my legs. Plucking and shaving is definitely a full-time job, but that's a small price to pay for being scarily fabulous. I mean, yeah, werewolves are hairy. That's gonna happen. Pet. Crescent. A scary, cute little kitten as fuzzy as I am. Favorite activity. Shopping and flirting with the boys. I agree with the shopping part. Biggest pet peeve. I hate having so many of my brothers and sisters in school at the same time. They're annoying, embarrassing, and totally know how to push my buttons. Oh, and Cleo denial. Cleo denial is your biggest pet peeve? That's funny. I haven't watched the show in a minute, or the movie, so I don't really remember how deep their beef runs. Favorite school subject. Economics. One day I plan on having my own fashion empire and want to know as much about business as I do about fashion. Pretty admirable. Least favorite school subject, gym. It's only because they won't let me participate in my platform hills. Gym is stupid. I think they need to take gym out of schools. Physical labor is stupid. Let the kids go home early or give them some form of education in that time. Physical education is stupid. Favorite color, gold. It's the only thing Cleo Denial and I can ever agree on. Ooh. What's y'all's favorite color? I'm going to say my favorite color is clear because clear needs justice. Favorite food? Steak rare. Hope she doesn't have any parasites. BFFs, Frankie Stein and Draculaura. Aw. Okay, so this is really cute. In her diary on the very first page is a little picture of her cat, Crescent. That is so freaking cute. July 14th. I got up late, so there was no hot water left. Then I cut myself shaving this morning because my razor was dull, and I was in a hurry to get out of the freezing water. But amazingly enough, the day actually went downhill from there. Later on, Crescent, the alpha kitty, must have sensed my mood, because instead of spending the night prowling around, he curled up in my lap and kept me company while I sorted through my funk. July 15th. It rained today. I hate the rain. It totally caused my hair to poof out, and I was not about to spend the rest of the day looking like a werepoodle. So I grabbed a pair of electric clippers, and 15 minutes later, I had a new do. It's short, scary cute, and perfectly wolfish. I think I'll keep it for a while, or at least until this rain goes away. I have decided that when I control my own fashion empire, I'm going to have a stylist on call just for rainy days. August 4th. I hate sharing a room with my sister. Howleen totally growls in her sleep. She wears my clothes, and she got sprayed by a skunk last week, which means that every time she takes a bath, which isn't often, it stinks up the whole room. I'd hope she gets fleas, but she just spread them to me. Damn, Clawdeen's really going through it. August 7th. I've got to get serious about planning what I'm going to wear on the first day of school this year. I mean, it's not like I'm worried about some monster showing up and looking more fabulous than me, but I feel obligated to set the bar for everyone else. Last year on the first day of school, I caused a minor traffic jam just walking across the school parking lot. It's going to be hard to top that, but I've been experimenting with some new hairstyles, and I'm considering just asking for a school assembly so that crowd control won't be a problem. August 10th. I tried a new hair remover made especially for werewolves. The label says it will totally eclipse unwanted hair, and it's supposed to keep you hair free for a week. Not. It's expensive. It stings worse than Wolf's Bane, and I still have to shave twice a day. What a rip. I could have used that money for a new belt. August 15th. Spent the day at Draculaura. She's the absolute sweetest BMFF ever. Although, if she doesn't stop trying to feed me tofu, I'm going to bite her. Just kidding. She has, rooms and rooms of clothes. It's like a fashion museum. So awesome. She always says that we're going to pick out clothes to give Goodwill. I guess that's like Goodwill in their universe is Goodwill. That's pretty funny. But she always gives most of them to me. I pretend I don't need them, but with so many brothers and sisters, it's not like there's a lot of extra money to go around for new fashions. I guess we must have gotten a little loud, though, because we woke up her dad. He doesn't really like werewolves very much, but he tolerates me because I'm friends with Draculaura. Whatever. It's not like I want to hang out with him either. Anyway, the best thing about Draculaura is that she doesn't give me clothes because she feels sorry for me. She does it because she's my friend. August 19th. Went to the mall with Claude today. He needed a new football, and I started to get some ideas for my next hairstyle. While I was there, I saw the strangest thing. I was walking past the Witch's Kitchen Supply store and saw Deuce Gorgon reading a cookbook. I yelled, "Yo, Deuce!" trying to find a recipe for snake. He dropped the cookbook and looked all embarrassed. At least I think he was. It's hard to tell what's going on behind those glasses. I think he would have tried to stone me, but Claude walked up and Deuce chilled. Sometimes it's cool to have the toughest guy in the school on your side. Thanks, bro. So it's like Deuce Gorgon, I've heard that he's like a chef or something, or a cook. Is he like embarrassed that he likes food and wants to cook? August 21st. If I were a mad scientist, the hairstyle experiment I tried today would be locked away in the lab, never to see the light of day again. I flat ironed my hair so it was straight, and then I razor cut it. As soon as the curl came back, things got ugly. Even Helene felt sorry for me. It's a good thing I'm the werewolf equivalent of Rapunzel, and my hair will be grown out by the end of the week, or I'd be wearing a hat until Halloween. August 23rd. Draculaura tried to talk me into trying out for the fear leading squad again. Please. A list of why I'm not a fear leader. 1. I don't try out for anything. 2. I wouldn't be caught human in those uniforms. 3. 3 through 8. Boring and Cleo denial. Number 9. While they're yelling for the boys, I'm in the stands flirting with the boys. Number 10. Boring and Cleo denial. I had thought about trying out just to show I could make the team, but then I look at my list again, and it reminds me why I don't want to. August 25th. Hung out at the mall with Draculaura and met a new girl named Frankie Stein. She was shopping with her mom, and fortunately for Frankie, they ran into us. Otherwise, she would have started the first day of school dressed like the bride of Stein. Frankie's beautiful and sweet, but a bit naive. Fortunately, I'm here to make sure she gets properly educated in the ways of the fierce fashionista. September 5th. Our annual end-of-summer family booby-Q was today. Fat juicy steaks for everybody, except for Draculaura, of course. She brought tofu dogs, veggie burgers, and a human boy named Jackson Jekyll. She'll always be my BMFF, and the sweetest monster ever, but Girlfriend makes some strange choices. Okay, so we're getting some lore. I guess she went on a date with Jackson Jekyll. Anyway, I could tell he was really nervous, and what human surrounded by werewolves wouldn't be? Until Claude started talking about football, and then the two of them kind of hit it off. I think Draculaura is major league crushing on this guy. Well, apparently not. September 6th. I know most monsters are probably dreading starting school, but not me. I want to learn as much as I can, so that I'll be totally prepared when I start building my fashion empire. If for nothing else, then to be able to move out of the house and get my own place without having to share everything with all my brothers and sisters. Oh no, I think I smell Helene in the shower. Why couldn't I have been an only wolf? I mean, yeah, siblings can suck sometimes, but I like, it's nice to not, like, be alone, especially if you live together. I think it's good to always have somebody around or always have somebody to talk to. I think that outweighs the benefits for me of being an only child. Because we have a cousin who's an only child, and she's always hanging out with us and stuff, so it would probably suck to have no one to talk to or hang out with. Alright, we are on our last diary. This is the Diary of Draculaura. It says volume 1599 and 3/4. So you can tell off the bat her handwriting is going to be in cursive for the duration of the diary. So here's her handwriting. You can see some of the hearts and the little smiley faces have little fangs on them, which is really, really cute. And here's her About Me section. Also, don't mind my cat. She wanted some loving and she couldn't wait till I got done. So she's probably going to be here while we read the last bit of the diary. Okay. So about me. Name Draculaura. Age 1599. And can't wait for my sweet 1600th. Which, we're getting that doll-line soon. Which I'm really, really excited about. Monster parent is Count Dracula. Killer style. I love to splash my black outfits with some cheery pink, and I even carry a frilly umbrella so I can take an occasional walk in the sun. Freaky flaw. Since I can't see my reflection in a mirror, I have to leave the house not knowing if my clothes and makeup are just right. Of course, after 1,599 years of practice, I've gotten pretty good at it. Of course, after 1,599 years of practice, I've gotten pretty good at it. Sorry, pet. Count Fabulous is my BFF. Bat friend forever. He's a very proud and proper bat, but I just can't help but dressing him in the cutest little outfits. Favorite activity. I love smiling, laughing, and encouraging my friends. Laughing's probably one of my favorite activities too, so I understand that. Biggest pet peeve. The lack of vegetarian selections in the Monster High Creepoteria is so sad. Favorite school subject. Creative writing. It gives me a chance to write sweet stories about my friends. Least favorite school subject. Geography. After 1,599 years, I've been everywhere twice. Favorite color is pink. Favorite food? I'm a vegetarian. No icky blood for me. So it's fruits, vegetables, and a lot of iron supplements. BFFs. Frankie Stein and Clawdeen Wolf. Okay, 4th of July. Another great day to be alive. Okay, technically it's a great day to be undead, but it's still a great day, and I'm going to enjoy it. 15th of July. It rained today, which means I didn't have to wear so much sunscreen when I went out for a walk. I'm sorry, I might struggle with this one because it's in cursive. It's also nice for my garden. Fresh tomatoes, carrots, and lettuce. Count Fabulous loves it too. Not the vegetables, but all the bugs they attract. It's like a bug buffet for a bat. 21st of July. Father surprised me by buying my school clothes this year. I love my father, but you'd think after 1,599 years, he'd realize there's more to fashion than wholesale corsets and black velvet lined hooded capes. At least he left the tags on everything this year, so I can return it all for something splashed with a little color. I really hope he didn't bite the clerks this time. That's so gross and embarrassing. So her dad's a predator? Her dad is a registered predator? A registered vampire offender? 26th of July. We got new human neighbors today, which I thought was a little bit strange, because my father is kind of intimidating to humans, and monsters too, actually. But it doesn't seem to bother Mrs. Jekyll and her son Jackson Jekyll, who is my age. Well, I mean technically. He's really not, but we're going to be in the same class. When he gets moved in, I'm going to give him the entire lowdown on Monster High. 7th of August. Oh yeah, I really like the pink color of her diary as well. I took a casket berry pie over to the Jekylls today as a haunted house warming gift, and Jackson answered the door. Wow, he is scary cute and really sweet. I got bats in my stomach and ghost bumps just standing there talking to him. I don't know what it is, but there's something a little mysterious about him. I like it. Picasso. She didn't say Picasso. 15th of August. Clawdeen Wolf came over yesterday. We were supposed to be going through my closets. To collect some of my out-of-date fashions and give them away to Ghouls. It also gave me a chance to give some of them away to Clawdeen. She has a big family, and I have almost 1,600 years of clothing. It would be selfish of me not to share with my best friend. Clawdeen has a lot of pride, though, and so I had to combine the two. After we pulled out a bunch, we cranked the music and started trying outfits. We had such a good time that it woke Father up. What a grump. Anyway, I can't believe chainmail was ever in style. It's so 15th century. Of course Clawdeen looked fabulous in it. 17th of August. My hair is tickling every part of my face and every hair inside my nose. 17th of August. Jackson came over tonight to return my pie plate. Father got to the door before I could and totally went all Transylvania on him. Good evening. What can I do for you? I was like, oh no, but then Jackson asked to borrow a hammer because he needed to drive a stake into something. It flustered my dad so much, I think he turned a shade whiter. Then Jackson said, gotcha, and my dad regained his composure barely. Draculaura, you have a visitor. Later on, I heard Father muttering something about Jackson being more than he appears to be, and don't know about that, but he is sweet, funny, cute, and not afraid of my father. Perfect. 23rd of August. I went to the mall with Clawdeen Wolf today to exchange some of the new school clothes Father got me. We met Miss Stein and her new daughter Frankie Stein while we were there. Frankie is going to be in our class at Monster High, and her mother was taking her back to school shopping. Miss Stein is really, really sweet, but her fashion sense is, well, not really current. Anyway, we were able to rescue Frankie for a couple of hours and show her the best of what this century's fashions had to offer. We had a great time, and Frankie Stein is definitely built for fashion. I think Clawdeen might have even been a little jealous. I also suggested that Frankie should try out for the cheerleading squad. She was really excited about that, and I think we're all going to be great friends. 24th of August. Cleo Denial was unhappy with me because I had to miss cheerleading practice this morning, but Count Fabulous got another mothball, and I had to take him to the vet. I scolded him for being such a pig, but he looked so miserable, I couldn't be mad at him for long. If he's not going to be a vegetarian, he should at least stick to eating something smaller, like gnats or mosquitoes. 25th of August. So my sweet 1600th birthday is coming up soon, which I'm really looking forward to, but it also means something I am not looking forward to, and that is having the talk with my father. We do this every year around my birthday, and it usually bums me out for at least a couple of days. The talk goes like this. Draculaura, I have been extremely tolerant of your keeping daytime hours, your friendship with that pack of mangy werewolves, and your insistence on being happy. But I believe it is important that you return to your roots and give up this ridiculous idea that a vampire can be a vegetarian. It is unnatural, unmonster-like, and I think it is time you return to what you once were. Then he stands there with his arms crossed, looking very serious. I used to get mad and tell him that it was my life and I could choose to live it however I wanted to, which caused an even bigger fight. But then I started just giving him a kiss on the cheek and a big hug, which totally disarms him, and he doesn't bring it up for another year. My father is the most scary, cool monster ever, and I know it's hard on him, but being my own monster makes me happy, and I'm never going back to the way I used to be. 29th of August. Jackson Jekyll asked if I wanted to go for a walk with him today, which was totally creeperific until he asked me to bite him. I thought he was just kidding, but he was totally serious. When I asked him why, he said it was because he didn't want to be the only human at Monster High, and that if he were a vampire, he would fit in and he would hang out, and we could hang out. He was so sweet about it, but I told him why I became a vegetarian, and how that meant I couldn't possibly bite him. I could tell he was disappointed, but I told him just because he was human didn't mean he wouldn't fit in, or that he couldn't hang out, or that we couldn't hang out. That seemed to make him feel a little better, but I don't think he's giving up on the idea of me biting him. 1st of September. I just finished working on the newsletter for Vamp, and it's like decorated pretty, which stands for Vampires Advocating Meatless Protein. I put in some recipes, a short story, and some poetry. I think it's a great organization, although I'm the only member so far. I even gave a copy to Father, which circled some spelling errors and gave it back to me. Who circled some spelling errors and gave it back to me? Well, at least he read it close enough to find mistakes. I guess that is a good sign. The 5th of September. Claudine Wolf's family always has an end of the summer booby-cue, and they always invite me, even though in the past our families haven't always gotten along. But since Claudine and I are like best monster friends forever, I always get invited. Of course, they are all like total carnivores, so I usually bring my own food. At least they don't tease me too much about the tofu and dogs and veggie burgers. I have no idea what this word is. I have no idea what the word is. I can't see that word. This year, I invited Jackson Jekyll to go with me, and I think he had a good time, although Claudine has a really big family, and they could be pretty rowdy when they're all together. 6th of September. As much fun as I had at the cookout yesterday, it was still a sign that summer is ending and school is about to start. I mean, I don't dislike school, and I love seeing all my friends every day, but there's nothing like summertime, and the freedom of just being able to do whatever I want whenever I want to. I wonder how school works, like with vampires, if she's 1,600 years old and she's still going to high school, like, I don't know, maybe she just spends, like, I don't know how long she spends in each period, I guess that whole thing, that would probably have to be like a whole math equation to figure out. All right. Thank you, everybody, for watching that video. That was all four of the Ghouls' diaries: Frankie Stein, Lagoona Blue, Draculaura, and Clawdeen Wolf. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please check out my description box. My Patreon is there, my Buy Me a Coffee is there, my Mercari and my Depop are in the description as well. All the other places where you can follow me and support me are listed down below. Again, I hope you enjoyed this video, and please stay tuned for my next one.